Welcome, one and all, to another adventure here at Video Store Memoirs. I'm your host, Kevin Selena. Today, I thought I'd take a moment and talk to you about the latest Ridley Scott film, Napoleon. It's always interesting for me to watch a movie that's based on some form of history. I mean, we've seen all different types: political history movies, war, uh, artists, you name it, we've seen it. Different settings in history is also a main something that comes up all the time, where you have like stories that are based around a certain time in the world, like just like political movements and so forth. Look, Forrest Gump is a whole fictional character who goes through life, and you see different settings from 60s, 70s, 80s. But getting back to the point, I went into this movie really looking forward to a good film, looking at the mastery of one of history's greatest generals. And it did not disappoint at all, especially when Ridley Scott behind the camera doing the war action sequences. But I have to admit, when they delved into the character of Napoleon, played by Joaquin Phoenix, there was something about it that really couldn't completely keep my attention. I think it was there was this factor to him that I don't know if this is based on truth or this is just someone's perspective of him, but he comes off as this petulant child and also a person who is completely incapable of possibly admitting he's made a mistake. And I know one thing, he became an emperor, he was like leader, general, but there was something about this childish portrayal that, I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me. Some of the scenes are really great. You see how he handles himself within the political arena and on the battlefield. But in his personal life, he was very mopey, very weepy, very, I'm going to get this my way, wah, wah, wah. I don't know why, but I was expecting something a little different. But overall, the movie, like I said, there's certain aspects of this. You come in and you watch the different action sequences and how things are set up and how his, I guess you call it game of war, comes out, how he sets up his troops, how he defends and sets traps, as it were. It's really fascinating. But then you get to the other stuff where, it's just, personally, it's like he has no idea how to handle himself. At least that's how he's portrayed. My favorite part of this movie was Vanessa Kirby, who plays his beloved wife and friend Josephine. She basically comes in on her own. She seduces him, but she never loses herself to the position which she finds herself in, which is basically queen or empress of France. She has her way of handling herself, and she will not be told which way she needs to be. In most cases, half the stuff that happens with her, it's because it was not her choice at all. They gave her no rhyme or reason. This is how it's going to be. You either go along with it or you can end up like Marie Antoinette. That's basically. I love the portrayal. I love the costumes. The dialogue is great. I will point out one thing that I've always noticed whenever it comes to history movies, especially about France. I've noticed more often than not with France, you either get British accents, American accents, and maybe a couple other surrounding countries. You very rarely get a lead actor in a movie made by American directors that actually have French accents. You want French accents, you better go find yourself a foreign film that's based around the same kind of information. But I digress. My personal opinion, I say give it 3 clamshells. I do believe this movie is very good. It has its moments, but you don't need to rush to the theater for it. You can wait for it to come out on streaming, enjoy it at your own pace. Joaquin Phoenix deserves a little praise. Ridley Scott always deserves a lot of praise for his work behind the camera. But for me, it's not his 100% best. No disrespect to the man. He's brought us so many legendary movies, but I cannot wait to see what else he's got coming out next year, and hopefully it'll draw me in a little better than it did this time. But that's my short review on the movie Napoleon. Once again, my name is Kevin Salina. Thank you all for checking in. I appreciate every single one of you. You can find us on social medias everywhere. We're on every platform. Check out the podcast. Enjoy yourselves, and we will see you next time.